What's going on, everybody? Hair here, and wow, this video I'm going to make, man, it was tough for me to even think of the words to say. The Undertaker is officially entering the WWE Hall of Fame this year in 2022 in Dallas, Texas. His, home state, hometown. Jesus, so Undertaker has been a significant part of my childhood, and not even still adulthood too, because I'm still a big Undertaker fan. That was the first person I gravitated to when I grew up watching wrestling, as a kid and as a little kid in the '90s, late '90s, and now adult in the 2000s. So yeah, he's entering the Hall of Fame. Last year when he retired during the pandemic era, he can't be retired. There's no fans. He started doing interviews. He went on Joe Rogan. He went on Ariel Helwani's podcast on ESPN. He went everywhere. He's doing all kinds of podcasts. He was on a podcast with Kevin Hart recently on the ice bath one. I forget what it's called, but yeah, he's doing all these podcasts now. The aura of the Undertaker used to never do any of that stuff. He's older now, so congrats to him. Again, favorite still, by far my favorite wrestler of all time. And he's been in pop culture. He's done stuff with Snoop Dogg. He made t-shirts with him. He's been LeBron James. He wore the Undertaker shirt when he was down 1-3 in the NBA Finals against the Warriors. He came back, and everybody's like, Undertaker. They said LeBron James rise from the dead. So Undertaker is an icon of the Phenom. Again, everybody that grew up in that era, you try to replicate it right now. Even with the Fiend, I love the Fiend too. You can't replicate that same aura because back then when the Undertaker was a thing, the internet wasn't a thing. Right now, everybody knows everything in backstage wrestling, thanks to the internet. Undertaker was still that guy from back in the day he was in character all the time. He was always dressed in black. It was, and if you get a chance, check out the Last Ride on the WWE Network on Peacock. Phenomenal 5-part series. I think it's 5 parts. Just talks about his whole career and everything. Constant surgeries, hips, knee replacement, everything. It's just incredible. The bursitis, everything. So, yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of The Undertaker. It sucks that he's, finally, definitely retiring now. He's in the Hall of Fame. But I'm a huge fan of his. And again, I'll continue to be a huge fan of his. I hope he makes little appearances here and there. But we can be real honest, too. He's been getting super old. Some of the matches weren't super great. That Goldberg match at Saudi Arabia was not good. They both could have heavily injured themselves. But nonetheless, keep it positive. Undertaker was one of the best of all time, one of the GOATs. Just for his size, athleticism, especially back then. The entrances, oh my goodness. Undertaker has some of the best entrances of all time. Just, oh my goodness, they're crazy. The one against CM Punk where they had the arms coming out, the ministry, the whole ministry thing that he had going on, just a badass cape and just the super, super dark, eerie entrances of Paul Bearer. He had the whole thing with Edge and Christian, the Brood, Gangrel. He had the Acolytes, Farouk, Ron Simmons, and also Bradshaw. John Bradshaw Layfield. He had a bunch of dudes. Viscera, rest in peace. Just the whole thing. The McMahons were in it. Undertaker has done some of the greatest storylines of all time. And to me, one of the best matches of all time against Shawn Michaels at Wrestlemania, the first one. I think that was 26. He had a great rematch. Then he had the Triple H match. He had the end of an era match, which I think he should have retired on that. Just so much stuff. So much. The Inferno matches with Kane. That incredible match with Mankind, Mick Foley, where he threw Mick Foley off the cage. I show that to everybody because that's one of those things where you just can't. You got hats off to Mick Foley for taking all those bumps. Undertaker talks about it, how it's an outer body experience throwing off Mankind off the cage. But that's probably my favorite match of all time next to that WrestleMania match against Shawn Michaels. Man, there's just so much. I have a bunch of Undertaker figures and boxes open, just so much Undertaker memorabilia. I have a bunch of t-shirts that I still wear. So hats off to Undertaker, the dead man, the Phenom, one of the best of all time. Super excited, happy for him that he is getting to rest now, getting to enjoy backstage stuff, getting to give people backstage pointers. I heard he's giving almost pointers backstage, which is phenomenal. It's awesome for him. And yeah, maybe he'll be a backstage hand like Shawn Michaels, who's incredible himself. who knows? Or maybe he'll just sit back and enjoy it like he has been doing podcasts, whatever else he wants to do. It's his world. We're just living in it. The Phenom, the Undertaker, retiring, entering in the Hall of Fame. Can't wait to hear his speech. I can't wait to hear Vince McMahon give that speech because he's going to be inducting him. Maybe Kane will talk too. I don't know, but it's phenomenal. Super happy for him. I'm a huge fan. I'll continue to be a huge fan of the Undertaker, the Phenom. Rest in peace to his career, and I still hope he'll make entrances here and there, do choke slams, tombstones. Just we need that entrance back. There's nothing like it in the world. I've experienced it a few times. It's incredible. This is the hair.